Welcome to Bett Bollhoefer Yoga. For this class, you need 2 blocks, a strap, and how about Daily Yoga, the book that I just published by Bett Bollhoefer. You can find it on Amazon.com. Helps you create a daily yoga practice. Today's class is a foundations. We're going to be working on feet, which is the first foundation of our body, hips, second foundation, shoulders, and neck are third. So with that, let's all come into a comfortable seated pose and make sure that we're sitting in the middle of our sits bones. You can wiggle around a little bit. We're going to start off by looking around. So looking around our environment, just noticing anything interesting, getting settled in, maybe just slowing down our breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Do another one. And then let's soften the eyes. So relaxing all the little muscles around the eyes and continuing to gaze slowly and softly. Now let's close our eyes and do a little listening meditation. So hearing the sounds in our environment. And then notice the smells. Feel that cool air coming in the nostrils and the warm air leaving. And then turn your attention to your mouth. Notice if there's any flavors. Rub the teeth, the upper teeth with your tongue, noticing the way they feel. And then rub the top of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. And then let your whole tongue just relax. Let the tongue sink into the bottom of the mouth. Now let's turn our attention to our emotional state and just notice if there's any emotions that need some attention, and notice where in your body they're manifesting. And now let's turn our attention to our mental patterns and see if there's something on our mind that we should be aware of. Now let's set an intention for the practice. Let's bring the hands over the heart center. Exhale all the air out, and then inhale together for an Om. Om. Softly open the eyes. We're going to start off with our feet. So bring the feet flat on the ground in front of your sits bones. And if this feels bad at all, you can sit up higher if that helps. So we're going to first squish the toes together and then spread the toes. Squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread. So the feet are the first platform. They're responsible for our independence, our ability to get around. They're very, very important. We don't spend enough time sending them love and attention. So as you squeeze, look at your toes and send some love to them. All right, one more. Now we're going to set the toes down, and you can use your hands for this in the beginning, and eventually, hopefully, you can do this without your hands. We're going to make our toes march. So we're going to hold down the 4 toes on the right foot, and then lift the big toe up. Then press the big toe down and lift the 4 toes up. And we're just going to go back and forth a few times. And see if you can do this without your hands. So take the hands away and just see. And maybe one direction you can do it and not the other. So just practicing. All right, one more time. And then let's go to the other foot. So go to the left foot. So lift. You can use your hands if you need to. If you can do it without your hands, go ahead. We're training our neurons here. This is neuroplasticity. All right, good. Let that go. If you have a pair of socks or a washcloth or something, grab it. And then we're going to practice picking up and pulling the sock or the washcloth or a blanket with our toes. So let's start with the right foot. So have the edge of the material and farther away from you, the edge near you, and then just pull it so that you're dragging the item towards your body. And if the washcloth or the towel is very large, this may be a very long process for you. We're just going to do it a little bit here. And then we're going to let that right foot go and bring it over to the left, pulling the material towards you. These are all so great if you have plantar fasciitis or tight and hard to move toes. All right, go ahead and move the socks or the washcloth away. So now we're going to point the feet away from us and then bring the toes towards us. So pointing and flexing the toes towards and away. And go ahead and send some love down to the ankles as you do this. And then we're going to make big circles with the ankles, the feet in one direction, and then go in the other direction. And then we're going to make the toes go towards and away from each other in big circles. And then we'll go the opposite direction. Great. Wonderful. Shake it out. So our feet are now warmed up. So that's the first platform. The next is our hips. So go ahead and move anything out of the way. And we will take the legs wide. So taking the legs nice and wide. And then we're going to bring the right foot in. Take it about a foot outside the sits bone. And then we're going to drop that knee down. The tendency is to want to use the hands. We're going to put the hands on the shoulders so that we don't do it. We're going to lift the knee up and then set that foot out. Bring the left foot in, out. See how far away it is from the sit bones. Really, really far out. Then drop the knee in towards the midline. Lift the knee up and bring that knee out. Let's do it on the other side. So alternating, just going back and forth. You go at your own pace. Inhaling as you bring the foot in. Exhale as you bring the knee down. Inhale as you bring the knee up. Exhale as your leg out. As you bring the leg out. You can also do this, add a little extra, having a little twist. All right, one more instruction. And then we're going to take the feet wide as your mat or wider. And then we're going to drop the knees over to the right with an inhale. And then exhale, drop the knees over to the left. And again, we're doing this little twist. You may notice you're traveling, that's okay. Just keep rearranging yourself. All right, let's do one more in each direction. All right, great. So we're going to come and lay down on our back, and I'm going to use a blanket behind my head. And we're going to do a little work on our hips from this direction. So lying on your back, bring the feet as wide as your mat. And then we're going to rock the knees a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Just going back and forth. Inhale to the right, exhale to the left. And now drop the knees all the way over to the right. Push into the left foot, lifting the left hip off the ground 1 inch. Flip the knees over to the left. Lift the right hip 1 inch off the ground by pressing to the foot, and just go back and forth. You can put your hands wherever feels comfortable. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you let your hip down. And one more on each side. Then we're going to stretch the legs all the way out. Shake out the feet. And then we're going to do a little flow with just the right leg. So we're going to bring the right knee into the chest. The fingers will interlace around the shin. Then we're going to bring the right knee out to the right. Stretch the left hand. Bring the knee back into the chest. The fingers interlace behind the shin. And then bring the knee across the body into a little twist. But notice that my shoulder is staying on the ground. Then we bring the knee in. So we're just going to go back and forth with just the right leg only. We're not switching sides. Bring the knee in with an inhale. Exhale whenever the knee is moving away from your face. All right, we're going to do one more, just like that, and then we're going to add a little extra to this. Next time you bring the knee in, I want you to press the knee away from your face into the hands. So firmly pressing the shin into your hands. Then we're going to bring the knee out to the right, and we're going to let the knee push into the right hand, activating the inner thigh. Then we bring the knee in again with an inhale and press the knee away from your face. And then we're going to bring the knee all the way out to the left. Press into your left hand to activate the glute, the piriformis, and the IT band on the side of your hip. Bring the knee in with an inhale. Exhale out to the right, pressing into the right hand. So we're just going to go back and forth with this little bit of extra isometric strengthening and releasing. All right, let's do one more in each direction. And then stretch the leg out, shake out the feet. And let's just notice the hips for a moment. Feel any difference on the sides. Notice if one hip is laying a little flatter than the other. And now let's bring in the left knee. So we're going to interlace the fingers. We're not going to do the big push yet. We're just going to warm up gently. So bring the knee into the chest. Open the left knee out towards the left, into the left hand. Bring the knee back into the chest with an inhale. Exhale, cross body, making a little twist over to the right. And then inhale into the chest. Exhale out to the left. We're not doing the extra little isometric yet. We're going to do one full round, one more round with just being really gentle, opening up the hips before we bring in the extra. Okay, it's time. So next time you bring the knee into the center, press the shin into your hands firmly. Then bring the knee across body into a twist and press the left knee into your right hand, activating the IT band, the piriformis, and the glute. Make sure your left shoulder is staying on the ground. Come in with an inhale, out to the left, and your knee presses into your hand away from your face. Continue at your own pace. All right, let's do one more in all the directions. Stretch out that left leg, shake it out. And then let's rest in a little mini shavasana and notice the difference on the sides. All right, we're going to do a little core work, which is fantastic for keeping the hips strong and even the shoulders. So we're going to bring our elbows up and then bring the knees up. We're going to touch the right elbow to the left knee, extending the right leg. Then we're going to bring the left elbow up to touch the right knee, extending the left leg, and just go back and forth, dead bugs. A classic. Inhale when you touch the right elbow to the left knee. Exhale when you touch the left elbow to the right. The closer you bring your foot to the ground, the harder you're going to work your abs. You can either set your head down for this or lift. Keeping your head lifted will make it more challenging. All right, let's do one more on each side. Then just rest. Shake out your legs. All right, we're going to start working on our shoulders. So you can leave the legs straight or bent, depending on which way feels better for your lower back. We're going to reach the arms into the sky. The fingers are straight. The elbows are straight. And we're going to lift the right arm up, reaching for the sky. Set that shoulder down, lifting from the shoulder blade. Now lift the left arm up from the shoulder blade, really reaching through the fingers. Set it down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Keep those elbows straight and the fingers straight. All right, 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and let your arms rest. You can straighten out the legs, shake out the hips, shake out the shoulders. All right, we're going to now lift the legs and the arms at the same time. So if you do have blocks, you could use these. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. I'm just going to show how to do it with a block. And if you don't have a block, that's all right. So the way to use blocks for this is you put the block on the medium side in between the calves, and then you press the hands on the outside of the other block and you lift all of it up at the same time, and then you lower. So let me show you without the blocks. So if you do have the blocks, go ahead and squeeze them very hard as you do that. And without the blocks, you're lifting the feet up and the arms up. So the hands start by the hips and lift up. So we're working the shoulders, the core, the arms. Our head is rested on the ground. All right, last one. Great. And just lay here. You can shake out the legs, body, just rest. All right, we're going to do a little wave with our body. We're going to lift the legs, then lift the hips up, then lift the chest, and lift the head. Then we're going to back the way we came. So lift the head, lift the chest, lift the hips, and lift the legs. So we're just going back and forth. Make sure you're setting yourself down with care. Don't drop any part of your body as you go back and forth. Lift with a breath in and then exhale when you lower. All right, this is the last one. Finish up the wave. Oops. All right, good. Shake it out. Wonderful. We're going to come around into a table pose. So bringing our hands underneath the shoulders. If you have a blanket or something to pad your knees, this is where I highly recommend. You can also fold your mat over multiple times. So we're going to do a cat-cow. So tucking the tailbone under, press the forehead towards the pubic bone. And inhale, unfurl the tailbone, look up. Then inhale, and then exhale, pressing the forehead. Continue at your own pace. All right, let's do one more. Great. So we're going to work on dolphin. So dolphin is a very powerful pose for working on the hips and the shoulders. So dolphin's just like downward dog, except we're going to be on our forearms. We're going to take our hands, clasp them, tuck the toes under, and then press the hips up into the sky, the sits bones. We'll start by pedaling out the feet and the knees, just starting to open up the hamstrings. Long, deep breaths. And then when you're ready and your hamstrings feel ready for it, you can straighten the legs as much as feels safe. If they feel like the hamstrings are still a little tight, you can keep a little bend in the knees. Let's just do 5 breaths here. Letting your heels drop as much as feels safe for you. Letting your head be free. You can move the neck around. We're going to now do some psoas work. So we're going to bring the knee towards the forearm. Then inhale and then exhale, bring that foot back. Bring the left leg in to the forearm. Exhale, bring it back. All right, let's do one more. Great. And let's push back into child's pose. Stretching the arms way overhead. Pressing our big toes together. Bring the knees wide. Just let your forehead rest. Feel your heart beating. All right, come on up. So we're going to work on chaturanga practice. It's a really great way to strengthen the shoulders. So we're going to come back into our neutral table and bringing the knees back. So if you can do regular chaturanga, go ahead, just lowering and raising. But if you feel it all weak in the shoulders, I want you to put the knees on the ground, rotate out the elbows so that the line of the elbow is pointing forward, and just lower 1 inch down and bring yourself up. So I only want you to lower as much as feels safe. So let's do 5 together. So lowering only as much as feels safe, pushing back up. You're bringing the elbows towards the ribs. You want to press the elbows into the ribs. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And that was 5 for me. If you still have to do a few more, go ahead. And whenever you finish, you can join me in child's pose. So coming back, stretching the arms overhead. And if you have a block, you can bring your elbows on top of it. So if you don't have a block, you can do this on a desk or a table or a chair. You can bring the elbows on top and then let the head fall between the biceps. And then coming down and just rest. And so we're opening up our shoulders now. All right, slowly coming up. So we're going to do a thread the needle. So coming back into your neutral table, we're going to lift the right arm up into the sky and then exhale, thread the needle. Coming underneath the underarm. And one more. And then bring the right hand underneath the shoulder, lift the left arm up, and then bring it under the underarm. Last one. Great. So we're going to come and do some squat practice. We're going to stay in squat for 1 minute. Now, many squats take many different forms. So if your squat is really, really wide, that's great. If your squat is in the sky, your heels are up in the sky, I recommend bringing a blanket or fold your mat up and place it underneath the heels so you feel supported. The main thing is to feel supported and to be able to hold for a whole minute. So let's bring the hands over our heart. Push the knees away, sit up straight and tall, and let's start the minute. So breathing. Let's do a little body scan as we are in our squat. So feeling our feet. Remember we did some toe exercise in the beginning. Open up the ankles. So feel the foot, the ankle, nice and strong as our first platform. Then the calves. How are the calves feeling? They're very activated and strong right here. Then feel all the muscles around the knee. This is a very tight bend for the knee. It's really, really good for the knees. Then the whole quadriceps, hamstrings, inner thighs, outer thighs, all the hips that we've been working so far, they're getting activated strongly. And then the whole core that we've really warmed up. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's take the hands down, push the tailbone up into a nice forward fold. You can grab the elbows and just ragdoll. Do some long sighs, either through the nose or through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, we're going to come up very slowly. Very, very slowly. Coming up with the head last. All right. Wonderful. So we're going to work on a standing flow, which I highly recommend having blocks for, or even a chair. That would also be great. So let me go over what it looks like so you just have some idea, and then we can do it together. So we're working on the hips, really making strong, mobile hips. We really spent a lot of time warming them up. They should be ready to go right now. So the way it looks is we stand at the top of our mat in Tadasana. We bring the weight onto the left foot. We bring the right knee into the chest, just like we did when we were on the ground. Then we're going to stretch the foot back and bring the arms forward. So our warrior 3. All right. Then we're going to come up, bring the knee back into the chest, and then bring the arms down. So that's the first. So let's do that together, and then we'll do it on the other side. So inhaling the arms and the knee up. Exhale, bring the arms over. And then we could bring the arms back up into the sky with an inhale. And then exhale the arms down, bringing the leg down. So we're working on mobility of the hip, moving the leg without using your hands. Inhale the arms on and the left knee in to the chest. Exhale, forward fold or forward bend, stretching through the heel, trying to keep your sacrum completely straight and balanced. Then bring yourself up to stand, bring the knee back in. And then exhale, bring the arms and the leg down. So that's the first phase. So feel free to repeat that a few more times. But if you want some extra challenge, I'm going to add several more things to this little flow. All right, so either follow me or do that same one again. So let's start up with the right leg coming up, exhaling into your warrior three. And then we're going to open up into a half moon. So this is where the block is very handy, coming into a half moon. So half moon, you'll notice this is working that inner thigh. The inner thigh is working. So then let's come back into our warrior three by bringing the toes to point down towards the ground again, bringing the knee into the chest, and then exhale down. All right, so you can either do that again on now the left side, or if that was just too much and you don't want to do it, you can go back to just the warrior three. All right, so let's bring the left knee in, exhale into warrior three, bring the right hand down to the block or the floor, opening up into your half moon. And then exhale, come back into your warrior three. And then inhale the knee up into the chest. And then exhale down. So this is a very challenging pose and sequence. It is no joke. But if you felt like it was okay, it was doable, we're going to repeat again and we're going to add another piece to it. So you can just come along with me or repeat the previous. Inhale the right knee into the chest. Exhale into your warrior three. Open up into half moon. And now the new thing, we're going to bring the right foot down into a warrior two. Strong warrior two pose. From here, we're going to rotate the foot coming into a crescent, bringing the right arm up, bringing it overhead, looking between the hands. So notice that my heel is up. My back leg is straight. My left leg is bent. And now from here, I'm going to bring my weight over the left leg, bring the right leg up into my warrior three, bring the right knee into the chest, and then exhale, set it down. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it now on the left side. Inhale the left knee into the chest, coming into our warrior three, opening into half moon. Now, if the option here is to set that left foot down into your warrior two, strongly pressing into the ground, then we lift the left heel, bringing the left arm up into our crescent pose. Notice that my heel is up and I'm pushing through that heel with a straight leg in the left leg. And then I bring my weight over the right, reaching forward. Then I bring my weight onto the right leg, completely lifting the left into the warrior three, inhaling the left knee into the chest, and then exhale down. Whew. So let's do it together. One more time. Okay, so inhaling the right knee into the chest, exhale into your warrior three, open with an inhale into your half moon, step back into warrior two, inhale the heel up, look up through the hands for crescent. Bring the weight onto the left leg, stretching through the right for your warrior three. Inhale the knee into the chest and set the right knee down. Immediately lift the left leg up into the chest. Push back into your warrior three. Open up. Then inhale into your half moon. Step back into your warrior two with grace. Inhale up into a crescent. Bring the weight onto the right leg, stretching back into your warrior three. Make sure your sacrum is nice and flat. And then inhale the left knee up into the chest. Whew, and then set it down. Oh my goodness. Let's stand in Tadasana for a moment and let our heart catch up. Take some longer, deeper breaths through the nose and out through the mouth. One more. Great. Let's step into a wide-legged forward fold. So coming along the length of the mat. Bring the hands or down onto blocks or onto the ground. Or you can bring the forearms onto the blocks or the ground. Let the head hang. Let's just do some long, deep breaths, letting our head rest downwards. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in just twice or 3 times. Bring the feet underneath the knees. We're going to come up into a wide-legged squat. We're going to take the hands to the ankles and press the knees into the elbows. So we're squeezing the knees towards the midline. We'll just stay here for 2 breaths. And then come up to straight. Bring the heels, toes together. We're going to do one more fun thing. So in a forward fold, we're going to bring our right ankle up above the left knee in a standing figure 4. So you can either set the hands on the ground, or if you want some more challenge, you can bring the hands around the knee and press like you're holding a baby, and press the right knee into the right elbow strongly. Let's just do 3 breaths here. And then set the right leg down. Let's replace it with the left. So bringing the left ankle up above the right knee. Either have the hands on the ground, or if you want something extra, you can grab around the leg and press the left knee into the elbow. 3 breaths. Go ahead and set yourself down. And then let's just come and sit. Come and sit gently, because that was very challenging. Very, very challenging. All right. So we're going to come and do a little happy baby. So coming onto our back, grabbing the outside of the feet and just rocking. Whew. That was a very challenging class today. I'm proud of you for doing it. I'm proud of myself for doing it. And let's rock up and down, touching the feet over our head and then touching the feet below us. And if it's in your practice, you can roll up into shoulder stand. If that is not your practice, you should not do that. If shoulder stand is not your practice, you can stay in happy baby. You could also do plow if that feels safe. Never turn your neck in plow pose. So keep your neck completely neutral. Whatever position you're in, just take one more deep breath. And then we're going to come on down. We'll do a little twist. So coming onto the ground, we're going to bring the knees together. So crossing the legs tightly, and then drop the knees over to the right, stretching the arms out. Look over the left shoulder. If this feels like too much and you do have blocks, you can set the block underneath the knees to make the stretch a little bit less. All right, one more breath. Bring the knees into the chest, cross, uncross, and then recross with the left leg on top, and then drop the knees over to the left. Again, if it's too much, you can use a block if you have one underneath your knees, and then look over the right shoulder. One more breath. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Go ahead and just squeeze the knees. So if you have any other poses that you really want to do, maybe a Baddha Konasana or anything else, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to come into our Shavasana. So if you want to pull on socks or a sweatshirt, this would be a great time to do that. Pull on a blanket if you have that available. And let's just rest. We'll do 3 physiological sighs, which is a 2-part inhale and then exhale through the mouth. So pull on a pair of socks, a sweatshirt, make yourself comfortable. Let's lay down and do a Shavasana. Let's do 3 physiological sighs to get settled in. So I'm going to read you something from my new book called Daily Yoga as you lie in your Shavasana. So I'm going to read from the first few pages here. It's called a quote from Yoga Sutra 1.1. And now yoga. And here's my explanation of it for my book. And now yoga. Beginning your practice may feel intimidating. Often beginning is the hardest part. We want to come up with excuses, why we can't start, why today is not the day. But if not today, then when? All right, so let's slowly come out of our Shavasana. Let's do 3 more physiological sighs. 2-part inhale, exhale through the mouth. Let's stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the legs. And then slowly make your way up to sit. And of course, if you have more time, please stay in your Shavasana even longer. And then let's bring the hands to heart center. Check in with the aftermath of our practice. Checking in with your emotional state. Check in with your mental state. And then let's exhale all the air out. Inhale together. And may the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer. I have lots and lots of classes on my YouTube, all kinds of different classes and all different skill levels. So I also have my new book out, Daily Yoga. It is about how to create a daily yoga practice and why would you want to do that. It has sample schedules, has a scientifically proven health benefits of yoga, has how to manage your nervous system with specific exercises, how to build emotional and self-management awareness, various types of yoga and how they fit into a plan, how to prevent and mitigate injuries. So all this and more is in this new book, Daily Yoga by Bett Bollhoefer. So I hope you check out that. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Thank you so much. Namaste.